Sadly, I've eaten all these foods at some point in my life and thoroughly enjoyed them, but it's hard to continue eating them when you know that they're slowly killing you. Hey Wellness Warrior, I'm Dr. Nick Zyrowski, and I started my holistic health practice in order to help you take control of your health naturally, because we all know that true health only comes naturally. So be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, and don't forget to hit the bell, because fact is, subscribes hardly mean anything on YouTube anymore. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you want to help me get this video out to more people, put a comment in the comment section down below. Making better choices in the food that you eat is a bit of a journey and a process. And the fact is, unless you're like my kids or you were raised by parents who knew better, then you probably enjoyed most of these high-fat, unhealthy foods that I'm about to cover. Because the fact is that you can find them in any grocery store, any convenience store, and they're a huge part of the standard American diet. Now, the first food we're gonna focus on is one that many people eat because it's easy to grab on the go. When you order food at a restaurant, typically it comes on the side, and that's potato chips. Now, with these potato chips, they have a very low nutritional value and very high fat content. But, that's what we're focusing on. But there is one side note that I want to mention. The American Cancer Association actually deems potato chips to be cancer causing. And here's why. Because when you take a starchy food like that and you put it under a high heat with a very low quality fat, essentially what happens is you create a compound called acrylamide. This acrylamide is a cancer causing agent. And that's what you get with potato chips. So though just a little side note, probably pretty important. When we look at potato chips, the other thing that we have to look out for is that they are fried in hydrogenated oils, which is a highly inflammatory oil. So you combine that really starchy food, which is going to do bad things for your blood sugar, and also with a little bit of inflammation, you're going to have some problems if you keep eating these types of foods. Now, the next food that people eat all the time, and I might as well mention it now, because a lot of times when you're eating potato chips, you're also eating a sandwich, and that has this just lathered all over it, and that's mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is a extraordinarily high-fat food, but unfortunately, it's typically made with the worst fats available in order to keep the cost low and the profits high. And just so I don't lose anyone as we're talking about these bad fats are going to be the fats that are made in a lab, but not found in nature. Typically, when you look at a nutrition fact label, you'll see them under names like hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated vegetable oils. Some prime examples would be a fat like margarine or Crisco. Now, when we look at these bad fats, they're not only in mayonnaise and potato chips like we already mentioned, they're in many other foods as well, which we'll get to in just a second. Now, the other bad fats that we have to avoid are going to be the heated processed oils. When you're looking at nutrition labels and reading the nutrition facts, here's some of the ones I want you to look out for. It's going to be ones like peanut oil, sunflower oil. Also, we want to watch out for the safflower oil. That's a highly used one. Palm oil, corn oil, and lastly, soybean oil. And why do these food manufacturers use these oils, you might ask? As I mentioned before, it's to keep the costs of the food low, but the profits high. Now let's take a look at the next high-fat food that most people eat. The interesting thing about this one is that most people perceive it to be a very healthy food. This is going to be salad dressing. Now, most salad dressing on the market is loaded with just tons of bad fats and also sugar. And so when you just cover your leafy greens with a high-fat sugar, it's not going to do much good for you in the way of health. When you go to a restaurant and you think, well, I'm making a better choice because I'm getting the salad dressing is probably killing all of that better choice you just made. This next food on our list is going to be, well, an all-American favorite. I'd be lying to you if I said that this food didn't taste good, but the fact is now that we know how to make better choices, we have to do so. And this is going to be French fries. The fact is most of these restaurants are grabbing the cheapest genetically modified potato they can get their hands on and frying it up in the cheapest hydrogenated oil that they can buy and then serving it to you. And this oil, of course, has been reheated and reused all week long. The fact is that you can make some better choices here. You can take some potatoes, you can slice them up and roast them. You also could even fry them at your home and just use an avocado oil, which can actually withstand the high heat. It's a much better option. Now, before we get into the next high-fat food, well, I was about to say food, but this one's actually a beverage. Let me tell you, you all ask me questions all the time that I cover in my private community. And though the conversation starts here on YouTube, it continues in the Wellness Warrior community. And we've all seen natural health account after natural health account become censored and even taken down in the past year. And so if you want to join the Wellness Warrior community and have the conversation continue as to how you can improve your health naturally, text this number on the screen right here. You can text this number and join the Wellness Warrior community. And if you're outside the US or Canada, what you can do is down in the comments below, I'll put a link to the email list and you can join there. Now let me ask you a question. If you were to go to the store and buy a creamer, where would you assume that that cream came from if it wasn't specified directly front and center on the label? Put in the comments below. For me, I would assume that it came from a cow because that's where cream is supposed to come from. But the fact is many of these creamers on the market aren't cream at all. In fact, they have no cream in them. They're big, huge bottles of flavored, sugar-filled, hydrogenated oils. And the fact is, that's the most scary fact about all of this, is that when I first learned this, I about fell out of my chair because this is what I drank almost every single day in my coffee and in my tea growing up. It's not a wonder that my brain didn't work properly. And it's not a wonder that so many people out there are having hormonal problems and all kinds of issues in their body and can't figure out why. But the problem isn't only about the bad fats. It's what's silently happening in your body when you consume them. The problem is referred to as AGEs. This stands for Advanced Glycation End Products. These advanced glycation end products occur in the body when you consume either protein or fat and combine it with sugar. This is known as glycation. And these AGEs cause problems in the body in many diseases such as diabetes. It's linked to heart disease, kidney failure. I mean, this is serious stuff. Alzheimer's, chronic inflammation, premature aging as well. I mean, these are fats that many people are eating every single day, combined with sugar, combined with protein, and you're getting this occurring in your body. It's not doing anything good for your health. Now, the other thing that you have to watch out for, and this is a big one, is those who are suffering from high blood sugar, which is many people, combining that with these bad fats, what it does is it just speeds up this process of producing too many AGEs in the body, and therefore it speeds you along to a chronic disease. Many healthcare professionals are actually calling for the advanced glycation end products to be measured in people's body and be one of the true markers of health. And so if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you have to take this stuff seriously. As you go around the store, start paying attention to the nutrition labels. And what you're gonna find very quickly is that these bad fats are in literally everything. And they're not only just in the cookies, crackers, chips, and high carb foods, they're also in many of the foods which are perceived to be healthy. Also, I wanna mention, don't be tricked by going to the local health food store and thinking that they just did all the due diligence and pulled that stuff out, because that is not true at all. In fact, one time I went to Whole Foods and I remember trying to find a barbecue sauce there. And literally, I went in the aisle, looked at like every single one of them. Finally, I found a store associate and I said, do you guys have any barbecue sauce that doesn't have either corn syrup or hydrogenated oils in it? And he looked at me and kind of laughed. He goes, oh, you know, it's Whole Foods. We don't sell that kind of stuff here. Well, the fact is he went to the aisle then and he started looking with me. And guess what? We couldn't find a single one of them. And I left the store empty-handed. Now, the other thing I want to mention, as health trends come and go, one of the big health trends out there right now is going to be the ketogenic diet. Now, this is a great diet with a lot of benefits, but many keto dieters fall into the trap of eating hydrogenated oils, especially the dirty keto dieters out there. And this is why I do not ever consider following a dirty ketogenic diet a healthy or viable option. In fact, it's crazy because you don't want to be so focused on following the ketogenic diet that you're willing to do it improperly and cause yourself further health problems down the road. I mean, sure, it's going to help you lose weight, but the fact is it does you no good to be the skinny person in the room with cancer. You really have to focus on getting yourself healthy first. And as you focus on getting yourself healthy, the weight loss will come. Now that I've told you all the bad fats that you have to avoid and stay away from, let's move to a more positive note and talk about the ones that you can have, because these fats are amazing. They nourish your brain, your cell health, your nervous system. They promote good quality health in your body. And there's a ton of them out there. You just have to look for them and you have to make sure you use them. Let's take a look at the list here. First, we're gonna have MCT oil or MCT powder. This is a great one that you can use. It gives you direct brain energy. Many people like to put this in their tea or coffee. The next one on our list is going to be grass-fed butter. And then we have ghee. We then move down to coconut oil or coconut butter as well. You can use things like avocado oil, which is great for frying it if you're gonna fry anything because it can handle that high heat. Another great one is going to be flaxseed oil. And then we have extra virgin olive oil. I love putting this on salads. We have sesame oil, walnut oil, and lard. And then when you take these good fats and you go and you look for them on the labels and you buy the healthier version of mayonnaise with these fats in it, and you buy the healthier version of the salad dressings with these fats in it, and then all the different snack foods that you might buy, if it has these fats in it, it's so much better for you. Now that you've learned how to improve your health naturally by choosing proper foods, check out my other videos on the channel so that you can take your health next level.